Time now for story number 5. Woke politics in sports. NASCAR is apologizing for having Texas Governor Greg Abbott wave the green flag during Pride Month. Abbott and Texas AG Ken Paxton have come under fire by the LGBTQ community for investigating whether gender-affirming treatments for minors could be considered child abuse. We're joined now by Michael Savage, host of the Michael Savage podcast and his weekly spot. He's also author of the book, Our Fight for America, The War Continues. So, Michael, expand upon that, if you would, about what's going on with NASCAR.
Bob, thanks for having me. The other day, I was on Newsmax on Thursday night, and I said we've gone from, in China, the Red Guard to the Rainbow Guard. And I wasn't kidding. They're sort of a terrorist group where either you bend the knee to them or you're out of business. That's what's going on. Everyone has to bend, whether it's at a school board meeting or a corporation. It's called cancel on one level. But I want to look into it in a little more detail, which I did for this show today. And I have discovered what I sort of knew these youth enforcers were. They're bullies. And it's going back to the old phrase of the 70s, radical feminism. It's an old phrase by now. At its core, according to their own literature, radical feminists, and I'll quote now, rather than seeing men as the core source of women's oppression, they wrote, we must identify class society as the culprit. Fighting capitalism remains the only path towards women's full liberation. Now you say, well, what does it have to do with NASCAR? The stated goal of radfems, or big sis, as I called them 10 years ago, is the overthrow of the capitalist system. So after 50 years of bullying society, falsely accusing men, they've conquered the educational, possibly the military and commercial worlds, and now they've decided to use their new sacred cows, the trans community, to batter our great society into submission. They attack parents and the nuclear family. Already, we have seen BLM has crooked, lying leadership. It came out with the houses that they bought. They ran off with the money, but they're avowed anti-capitalists. And look how well they have done at BLM. Anti-capitalists. Yeah. So what's next for these
I don't mean to interrupt you, Michael, but I agree with the fact that there are a lot of people who look at our capitalist system and don't realize that's what has made us who we are, that strength of the capitalist, the free enterprise system. And it seems to me, maybe I'm wrong on this, but they think it should be more socialist. Yet socialism doesn't have a great track record of creativity, of creating the next iPhone or the next internet, that sort of thing.
But Bob, this is the crazy part of it all to me. They're anti-capitalist gay women in BLM, and they bought mansions with the money that they allegedly raised for poor black people and for the minority community. They're thieves. They're crooked. They're like Al Capone. This is one man's opinion. I'm not saying it's Newsmax's opinion. So what's next? Bob, I like to look forward and backward. What's next is religion. Religion is more or less under their thumb already. So what's next? Already Big Sis has called Christianity a white supremacy trick to suppress people of color. They've smeared all Catholic priests as child molesters when it's about 6 or 7% at most. So what's left for them to tear down Western civilization when the core of Western civilization happens to be Judaism and Christianity? So next, God will be attacked as a construct of white supremacists to subjugate women and people of color. And mark my words, whether it's sooner or later, eventually this will lead to attacks on Judaism and Jews who gave the world the concept of one God and the 10 Commandments. It's all going to go back to that. I know people say, what the heck is he talking about? What does it have to do with race cars and racetracks? I looked into it, and I could see the connection, okay, in my mind. Call me crazy, Bob, but I see the connection.
Okay, I appreciate that. And I think a lot of people see these things going, that the focus on the dynamics coming from that political perspective is so outweighing what people's experiences are. And that's, I think that's a part of what you're saying. And I also look at what's happening to the unappreciation, that's not the right word for it, but the fact that people don't appreciate free enterprise and capitalism, as imperfect as they are because human beings are involved, is part of what makes us a strong country.
Right. But the thing is radical feminism and this whole movement against, let's say, NASCAR, that's a tip of the iceberg.
Okay,
They're
tie it up here, Michael.
They'd like to eliminate NASCAR. They'd like to take down any images that are based upon, in their mind, the patriarchy. And car racing is generally run by men. I know there are some women drivers who are very good. I remember meeting one of them at a track when my son had a race car out there. But the fact of the matter is they want to tear it all down. And the core of it all is the male. The patriarchy is what they are after, and NASCAR represents the patriarchy. And now they are using the trans community as the battering ram, in plain English.
Okay, Michael, here we are, two old white guys talking about this, though. You know how everybody looks at that and says, oh, we just don't get it.
That's their problem, not mine.
Fair enough. Michael Savage, thank you so much, host of the Michael Savage podcast.